Hey, welcome to a new video. A visit to the zoo is often an exciting experience full of dangerous and unique animals. But what happens when these animals manage to escape? From tigers to monkeys and even bears, it happens in zoos all over the world. Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And before we start, also like the video. Number 30. In Sun City, Arizona, 2 llamas escaped from a retirement home and led police on a wild chase throughout the streets. During the incident, black and white llamas ran between cars, causing traffic jams. The news quickly spread like wildfire on social media, where Twitter users shared the absurd situation. Despite the chaos, some people saw the llamas' escape as an opportunity. Some of the local NFL teams were impressed by the white llama's evasive skills and jokingly said that the animal deserved a player's contract. It's unclear how many llamas escaped exactly, but the police reported late in the evening that 2 llamas were still on the loose. Llamas are generally not considered dangerous. However, like any animal, they can exhibit aggressive behavior if they feel threatened, especially males during breeding season. Additionally, llamas that develop berserker llama syndrome can become very aggressive and try to attack people. Number 29. At Taronga Zoo in Sydney, Australia, video footage has been released showing a male lion and 4 cubs escaping from their enclosure. The escape happened in November 2022 when the 5 lions slipped under a metal fence. According to a statement from the zoo, the cubs, Luzuko, Zuri, Kari, and Malika, were playing near the fence and one of them was able to dig underneath. The others followed, while lioness Maya and Kabayana stayed behind. After their escape from their enclosure, the lions walked around calmly. They even made several attempts to return to their enclosure. Fortunately, zoo employees arrived within 10 minutes and were able to control the situation. Guests who were camping at the zoo were told to immediately leave their tents and seek shelter. A witness described the situation as chaotic and said he had to run to safety. Zoos have the responsibility to always ensure the safety of the animals and their visitors. Situations like these show that safety measures and protocols are very important. Animals remain wild and unpredictable, and under certain circumstances can even be dangerous. Number 28. In 2019, a visitor to a zoo filmed a chimpanzee using a stick to prop against the enclosure wall in an attempt to escape. Although the animal wasn't aggressive, this demonstrates how intelligent these primates can be. Chimpanzees are known for their incredible strength, agility, and intelligence. They're one of the human's closest relatives and share over 98% of our DNA. In fact, chimpanzees are one of the few animals, besides humans, observed using tools in the wild. For example, they use sticks to fish for termites. In a more recent escape, a chimpanzee named Chi-Chi made a bold escape for his enclosure in a zoo in northeastern Ukraine. The primate was spotted running through the streets of Kharkiv, causing quite a stir among the residents. However, the situation was quickly brought under control when a woman sat down next to Chi-Chi and offered him a bright yellow raincoat. With the help of the coat, zoo staff were able to gently guide Chi-Chi back to his enclosure. Number 27. During a weekend, a red panda escaped from its enclosure at Adelaide Zoo in Australia, causing a lot of excitement among staff and visitors. Ravi, a 7-year-old red panda, had arrived at the zoo in the hopes of being paired with a female panda. But Ravi managed to escape mysteriously and climbed up a tree. It took 3 days for the caretakers to catch him again. While red pandas are not considered a threat to humans, they are an endangered species, with only about 2,500 individuals remaining in the wild. This is due to habitat loss and poaching. Red pandas are also known for their unique and fluffy tails, which help them climb trees. They also have the ability to use their forepaws as hands to grasp food and groom themselves. They are primarily solitary animals and are usually only social during breeding season. Despite their name, they are not closely related to giant pandas and have several unique features, such as their reddish-brown fur. Fortunately, the zoo staff quickly found the red panda because they are generally shy, making them difficult to locate when they escape. Number 26. The next moment has to be one of the stupidest and most dangerous things you can do in a zoo. A drunk man visited Brazil's Saracoba Zoo in Sao Paulo, and not just normally, but shirtless and without shoes. After climbing a fence, he swam across the water that surrounded the monkey's enclosure. As he tried to get out of the water, 6 spider monkeys approached him, proving to be insanely territorial. They bit into his arm, wrist, and shoulder. The struggle lasted a few minutes, but the man managed to get back outside the enclosure with some help. Number 25. When you first see this glass enclosure, you might think the glass is a little too low to keep animals behind it, especially dangerous animals like alligators. But within seconds, an alligator jumped over the glass to get its food. According to its caretakers, that is not the first time this alligator has done this. The last time the alligator escaped, it was dark, and no one noticed it until the morning. Escapes of alligators are not uncommon in zoos. A smaller alligator managed to slip under a fence at a zoo in Michigan, while a large turtle also escaped, but was eventually found. In another case, 3 alligators escaped from a zoo in New Jersey and were on the loose for at least 13 hours before being caught. Alligators can be dangerous animals, especially in the wild, as they are powerful predators and known to attack humans if challenged or threatened. Number 24. Not long ago, Meng Lan, a 6-year-old panda at a zoo, attempted to escape from its enclosure by climbing over a fence. A group of zoo visitors were shocked to see this happen. A video shows the panda climbing the metal fence around its enclosure and then ending up in an open area. The curious panda reportedly looked at the visitors for a long time, according to many eyewitnesses. Fortunately, the animal caretakers were able to lure the panda back to its enclosure with some tasty food. Interestingly, pandas are excellent climbers and can easily climb trees due to their strong claws and gripping pads on their feet. In fact, wild pandas spend most of their time in trees and stay away from the ground predators. And while Meng Lan is known for his naughty behavior, pandas are generally known as relatively peaceful animals. They're also famous for their striking black and white fur and their diet, which is 99% bamboo. Despite their cute and cuddly appearance, pandas are classified as vulnerable, with only 1,800 individuals remaining in the wild. Number 23. The next man decided it was a smart idea to go swimming with sharks. Shark tanks obviously shouldn't need a sign saying no swimming, and it should make sense that you don't want to jump into the water where the sharks are swimming. But this happened anyway, and when the crowd heard a splash of water in the aquarium's 2.9 million gallon tank, they thought they were watching a demonstration, where the trainers were feeding one of the 17 sharks. To their horror, it was a naked man who decided to take a dive with the sharks. The police were immediately called, as he did a backflip into the water. What would you do if you saw this happen? Number 22. On Christmas Day in 2007 in San Francisco, a tiger named Tatiana managed to escape from her enclosure, causing one person to lose their life and 2 others to be injured. The tiger leaped and clawed her way out of the enclosure. The incident was disturbing because some suggested the animal had a sense of revenge. Tigers are impressive animals and the largest of the big cats. They're known for their orange fur with black stripes, powerful limbs, and sharp teeth and claws. Tigers are also incredibly agile and can run and swim faster than most humans. They say that the roar of a tiger can be heard from far away, making it one of the loudest sounds in the animal kingdom. However, this was not the first time a tiger had escaped. In Guadalajara, Mexico, a tiger escaped from a local enclosure, causing commotion among residents and authorities. The tiger was eventually caught by brave people who used a lasso to subdue the animal. Number 21. At the Seattle Aquarium, someone filmed the moment when the octopus named Ink attached himself to the wall of an open round tank and attempted to escape. This led to speculation about whether it was an escape attempt or it was exploring around. Despite the octopus's curiosity, an aquarium employee managed to lead the animal back to its enclosure. Octopuses are incredibly intelligent creatures with the ability to solve complex problems. They have excellent vision, touch, and can even change the color, texture, and pattern of their skin to blend in with their surroundings. They're also known for the impressive strength and agility and can manipulate objects with their 8 tentacles. Interestingly, octopuses can also use tools to navigate through water. Additionally, they also have their own unique personalities and can recognize individual human faces. And while Ink is new to the Seattle Aquarium, octopuses in general are known for their short lifespan, with most species living only a few years. Number 20. Next up, we have not one, but 2 incidents involving pandas. You know those amazing bamboo-eating sleepy bears? In the first incident, a man decided to go into the panda enclosure. The panda woke up and immediately went after him. Fortunately, the 120-kilogram panda named Mei Ling was only playful at the time. Otherwise, things could have ended much worse for the man. In the second incident, the man in question was not so lucky. This took place in 1992 at a Chinese zoo. A man stood with his back against the fence of the enclosure, and the panda decided to pull on the man's coat. In fact, the panda was trying to get the man's coat. Eventually, the piece of clothing was ripped off him, and the man was able to escape. As you can see, pandas are not as gentle as they look. Number 19. Visitors to the Ramat Gan Safari Park in Tel Aviv, Israel, were treated to a spectacular event when 3 clever rhinoceros made a run for it. The rhinos, named Rihanna, Karen Peels, and Carnabella, slipped out of an open side gate when a guard was asleep. They were heading towards the road when alarmed zoogoers alerted the police. Fortunately, a zoo manager managed to chase them down and escort them back to their enclosure. Rhinoceroses are among the largest land mammals on Earth, known for their incredible strength and speed. They have a thick skin covered with a layer of keratin, which serves as a natural protection against predators. Despite their intimidating appearance, rhinos are herbivores and typically peaceful animals. They are also known for their poor eyesight, but their sense of smell and hearing are well developed. It's unclear why these 3 rhinos decided to escape that day, but it's possible they were excited to explore their surroundings. Number 18. Visitors to the zoo in St. Louis, Missouri were startled when an Andean bear named Ben decided to take a stroll through the park. The 4-year-old bear had escaped from its habitat and roamed the zoo for 50 minutes. Fortunately, zoo staff quickly responded and ensured the safety of both guests and the bear, without anyone getting hurt. However, this wasn't the first time Ben had escaped. Just a few days earlier, he had managed to break through the steel mesh in his enclosure to make his getaway, demonstrating the incredible strength and intelligence of Andean bears. Andean bears are found in South America and are known as spectacled bears due to their distinctive markings around their eyes. They're excellent climbers and can scale trees and rocky terrain to great heights. They also often make their nests in trees, where they sleep, eat, and even raise their young. Despite their robust appearance, Andean bears are primarily herbivores, with a diet consisting mainly of fruits, nuts, and plants. An interesting fact is that St. Louis Zoo is home to some of the largest populations of Andean bears in North America. Number 17. It goes without saying that zoos are one of those places where you don't want to take things home. However, a group of young men broke into a Gold Coast SeaWorld in Queensland and started stealing several things. They swam with the dolphins and set off a fire extinguisher in the shark enclosure. But dumbest of all, they wanted to take home a real penguin. The penguin in question was a 7-year-old little penguin named Dirk. The next morning, the men suffering from a hangover found the penguin in their apartment and tried to feed him and put him in the shower. Out of panic, they decided to leave him by a nearby river. This is where he was noticed by the locals. Then the penguin was taken back to the zoo. As cute as penguins may be, they won't last long in the wild without some protection from predators like cats or dogs. The men were eventually found and taken to jail. Number 16. You might be surprised to learn that even giraffes occasionally escape from their enclosures in the zoo. This happened, for example, at the Fort Wayne Zoo in Indiana, where a giraffe named Tabisa managed to squeeze through a passage between the stable and the enclosure. She kept running around the building near the parking lot. Fortunately, the giraffe stayed on the premises, and it took zoo staff 2 hours to get her back to her enclosure. Giraffes are known for their long necks, which can be up to 6 feet or 1.8 meters long. They also have powerful legs that they can use to deliver lethal kicks to predators. Giraffes are also the tallest land animals in the world, and their hearts can weigh up to 24 pounds, or 11 kilograms, to pump blood to their brains. Despite their imposing appearance, giraffes are generally peaceful animals that pose little threat to humans. This incident proves that, as Tabisa only ran around the building near the parking lot without harming anyone. Number 15. You don't come across a gorilla like Evelyn every day. This 24-year-old female gorilla from the Los Angeles Zoo has the reputation of being an escape artist. She's escaped from her enclosure at least 4 or 5 times and has come up with clever tactics to outsmart the animal caretakers. Once she even used a dangling vine to swing over 11.5 feet or 3.5 meter moat. Gorillas are known for their intelligence and strength, and Evelyn is no exception. Despite the walls of her enclosure being repeatedly raised, she's always ready for a new challenge. During one of her escapes, Evelyn explored the zoo and even got a good look at the giraffes and elephants. Gorillas are mainly found in the rainforests of Central and West Africa, but Evelyn is not the only escape artist in the gorilla family. A 12-year-old gorilla named Jim has also found ways to escape from his enclosure many times. Once, he ripped a door off its rails to slip through the opening to freedom, and on the other occasion, he simply jumped over a tremendously high wall. Pretty incredible, isn't it? Number 14. Goldie the eagle, also known as the escape artist of the London Zoo, took to the skies above Regent's Park in 1965 after his second escape of the year. Despite being an eagle, Goldie was content with his life in captivity in the zoo for about 5 years. But when his cage was being cleaned, Goldie saw his chance and took it, leaving his partner Regina behind. Eagles are known for their incredible vision, which can be up to 8 times sharper than that of a human, as well as their impressive wingspans. The exact size and weight of an eagle can vary depending on the species, but eagles such as the harpy can become enormously large. However, Goldie skillfully eluded his pursuers and flew around the park and even ventured into nearby areas. Despite the efforts of caretakers, police, firefighters, and even the Navy, Goldie managed to escape captivity for days. Eventually, a crowd of about 1,000 people gathered in the park to watch Goldie being chased. After leaving a trail of destruction, he was finally captured. Number 13. While animal escapes from zoos or aquariums are rare, there have been incidents where sharks have escaped. In 2016, a shark tank at the Shanghai Orient Shopping Center in China burst, causing water to spill out and revealing sharks swimming outside the tank. In 2018, a horn shark was smuggled out of the San Antonio Aquarium in a baby stroller. Fortunately, the shark was later found and returned to the aquarium. Sharks are fascinating and terrifying predators that have been swimming in our oceans for millions of years, so it's quite strange to encounter one in urban areas. Interestingly, during Hurricane Ian, a small shark was caught on video swimming in a flooded neighborhood in Fort Myers. The person filming the video suspected it was a shark, but experts were unfortunately unable to confirm whether it was indeed a shark or another type of fish. Number 12. If you were to lose your sunglasses or phone in a tiger's enclosure, for those with a little common sense, it's not a smart plan to enter the cage. This video was filmed in 2016 at a zoo in Toronto, Canada. The woman's hat fell into an enclosure of a 7-year-old Sumatran tiger. Sumatran tigers are very dangerous animals. They can run up to 65 kilometers per hour and feed on animals such as wild boar and deer. Yet the woman climbs over the fence, while bystanders shout at her. The tiger becomes irritated as the woman intrudes on his cage and begins to growl. Fortunately, a second fence separates them, and things end well for the woman. Number 11. Wolves are often seen as dangerous animals, but in reality, many captive wolves are well taken care of and pose no threat to humans. However, there have been cases where wolves have escaped from zoos or other facilities. Recently, an investigation was launched after a Mexican gray wolf named Sarah escaped from her enclosure at the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo. Fortunately, Sarah was eventually recaptured after an hour and no one was injured. The question on everyone's mind was how Sarah could have escaped in the first place. It was soon discovered that she had climbed over the fencing walls and made a hole in the top of her enclosure. Mexican gray wolves are a critically endangered subspecies of the gray wolf, with only about 131 individuals in the wild. While the loss of an individual of this valuable subspecies is concerning, authorities are taking all measures to minimize the risks of future incidents. The zoo maintained that Sarah the wolf is docile and her capture went smoothly, with no harm done to the wolf or any human involved. Number 10. The king cobra is a venomous snake that can grow up to 18 feet or 5.5 meters long and is mainly found in India, Southeast Asia, and the Philippines. They're known as cunning and dangerous animals and are among one of the most feared venomous snakes in the world. A recent incident occurred in Sweden where a long king cobra named Servas escaped. The deadly snake escaped through a hole in the glass ceiling and was nicknamed Houdini after the famous escape artist. Despite a week-long search for the snake, during which visitors at the zoo were evacuated, Servas managed to crawl back into his enclosure on his own. As this incident has shown, king cobras are incredibly intelligent, and in addition to their dangerous nature, are even more dangerous than other snakes. The impressive king cobras are known for their highly venomous snake bites, which can be deadly to humans if not treated immediately with antivenom. They're also known for their aggressive behavior when they feel threatened or disturbed, and their size and strength make them a dangerous animal to encounter in the wild. Number 9. Elephants are known for their intelligence, memory, and their immense size and strength, but they can also be dangerous when provoked or threatened. In 1984, something happened with an elephant named Cindy that underscores this. A former trainer described her as possibly the most dangerous elephant ever after she attacked her caregivers in the park. The elephant then attempted to escape the park, but there's also other known cases where an elephant has gone on the run. In 2013, an elephant named Kiri escaped from a zoo in Zurich, Switzerland. The elephant roamed the streets for several hours before being recaptured. Another incident occurred in 2019 when an elephant named Baby escaped from a circus in Germany, walking along a highway before eventually being found again. However, it's important to note that such incidents when an elephant escapes are very rare.
Number 7. If you feel like going swimming, please go to a pool, and not a polar bear enclosure. After all, there's a good chance you'll be torn apart. Regardless, a 32-year-old woman decided to jump into the polar bear enclosure at the Berlin Zoo. She first climbed over a fence, a hedge, and then over a wall. So she didn't walk in by accident. She knew what she was doing. The polar bears were fortunately not too aggressive that day, but the video shows the woman trying to get out of the water. Rescue workers tried to distract the polar bears by feeding them. Why the woman decided to go into the polar bear enclosure is still a mystery, but luckily, she survived.
Number 6. Ostriches are known for their impressive speed and size, but also for their inability to fly. However, when they escape from captivity, they can pose a serious danger on roads and in cities. In a remarkable incident, motorists in Changshu City in China captured videos of a herd of more than 80 ostriches running through the streets late at night. The large flightless birds had escaped from a local farm through an unlocked gate. While most of the ostriches were eventually found and returned to the farm, it took time and effort to capture them all. Local police helped manage the situation, keeping both the ostriches and people safe. Ostriches are the largest bird species in the world and can weigh up to 353 pounds, or 160 kilograms, and reach a height of 2.7 meters. They're also known for their impressive running speed, which can reach over 154 miles per hour, or 70 kilometers per hour, making them the fastest land animal over long distances.
Number 5. One animal you definitely don't want to approach is a tiger, and especially not when you're drunk. A student at Gwalior Zoo in Madhya, India, decided he wanted to challenge the zoo's local tigers. For nearly an hour, he teased the two tigers, chased them away into their cave, and miraculously escaped unharmed. Who knows what would have happened if the tigers had grabbed the man? However, this is not the first time someone has entered the enclosure of a dangerous cat-like animal. Another drunk man, ignoring the warnings of the crowd and security personnel, jumped into the African lion enclosure, simply to shake hands with them. These lions, who were used to people, could have attacked him at any time, but fortunately did not. The zoo staff were eventually able to chase the lions away and rescue the man.
Number 4. On June 14, 2015, more than 300 animals escaped from the zoo in Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, after heavy rainfall hit the area, causing flooding. The flooding damaged the animal enclosures and released many animals. Among the escaped animals were tigers, lions, bears, hippos, wolves, ostriches, and various species of monkeys and birds. It led to a dangerous situation, where some animals went onto the streets and threatened people in the city. A hippopotamus was spotted walking on the street, while a bear climbed through a window of an apartment. The local population was asked to stay inside, and the police and animal caretakers did their best to catch the animals and return them to the zoo. Mass escapes from zoos are rare, but when they occur, they can create chaos and put both animals and people in danger. The incident sparked a discussion about zoo policies and the safety of animals in captivity.
Number 2.
In May 2017, visitors of the Perth Zoo were shocked when an orangutan escaped from her enclosure by climbing out of it. Fortunately, no one was injured in the incident, but this was not a unique occurrence. Chester Zoo is another example of a zoo that has experienced multiple escapes over the years. In one incident, 4 orangutans escaped from their enclosed area. But have you heard of Ken Allen the orangutan? He was a Bornean orangutan in the San Diego Zoo, known for his impressive escape skills. He developed a reputation as a skilled escape artist and escaped multiple times from his enclosure. He unscrewed bolts with his fingers, climbed to the top of his enclosure using ropes made from fire hoses, and even used a crowbar to loosen the wiring around his enclosure. During one of his escapes, he calmly walked around the zoo and eventually returned to his enclosure when he got hungry.
Number 1. And at number 1 is a man who not only broke into the cage of 2 lions, but stayed after the lions got close to him. The man, who was later said to be a bit crazy, confronted the 2 lions, which the male lion did not appreciate. With a shuddering growl and roar, he tugged at the man's pants. This should have been a warning, but instead of backing down, the man just stood there. Fortunately, the animal caretakers managed to bring the man to safety.
What's your favorite animal at the zoo? Let us know in those comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos we've made, click one on the screen or take a look at the channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.